you like this video at the end, please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, like and share. Enjoy.
So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be focusing on this 8-hour break over here. On either side of the 8-hour break, all right, in between other breaks, cannot add up to more than 11. All right, so we have 8 over here and we have 3 over here. That adds up to 11. So we're fine there. And the same thing for the 14-hour. This yellow box here represents all the 14-hour stuff that we've done. So basically, this 8-hour drive we did in 9.5 hours, and this 3 hours here we did in 3.5 hours. As up to 13. So we had 1 hour left. Okay, so now as you can see here, we have a 2-hour break. The 2-hour break pretty much finishes the 10-hour break. All right, so anything that we did before this 8-hour break doesn't matter anymore. Okay, so now it's going to be on either side of this 2-hour break. So we have 3 hours here, we have 6 hours here, so we have 9 hours total, so we're fine. Okay, now one thing with this 2-hour break, all right, it doesn't put a pause. I know it kind of looks like a pause here, but it doesn't put a pause. So basically at 3:30, all right, we started our 14. Now that means at 5:30 in the PM is when we'd have to stop. Obviously we stopped before then. Okay, so this 8-hour break here, now because we have this 2-hour break here, now on either side of the 8-hour break, the 14 starts here. Okay, and of course our driving starts here as well. So we have 6 hours, 4.5 hours, adds up to 10.5. We did fine there. So we have 6.5 and we have 5. That's less than 14. We're all good now. All right, so let's move on to, so we had our 2-hour break, all right, finishing our 8-hour break. So anything before that doesn't matter. We have 4.5 hours, 6.5 hours, adding up to 11. We're absolutely fine. The same thing with our 14. All right, our 14 started at 11:30. As long as we didn't go past 1:30, we're good. As you can see, we stopped before then. Okay, again, we have our 8-hour break. We did not go over our driving. We only added up to 10 hours. So it's 6.5 plus 3.5 equals 10. Now, if you look over here, right, the 6.5 and the 8, that adds up to 14.5. So I went over my 14, but I didn't drive. All right, I stopped driving right here at the 14-hour mark. So let's go back to that again. So I started here 6.5 hours. As long as I stopped driving here, which I did, it is fine. So even doesn't matter how much on duty, it's all about the driving. So again, I took my break. Now again, because I didn't go into sleeper, we have to add this on either side of the 8-hour break here. So as you can see, we have our 8-hour break here. We didn't go over our 14, but I went on duty for quite a long time over here. So either side of the 8-hour, we have 4.5 and 10.5. That's 15. But I didn't drive past this point here, so I'm absolutely fine. All right. So again, we started. So if we have 4.5 hours here, that only leaves us with 9.5 hours. As long as I didn't go 9.5 hours past here, we're doing just fine. So now I got my 2-hour break in. Now my 14 starts here. But as you can see, we have 10.5 hours on this side of the 8-hour break here. Okay, so our 14 started at 7:30 p.m. So it would be 9:30 a.m. is when we got to be done. See, as you can see, I got 1.5 hours driving in there. Can't go past that 14. No, as you can see, I went to 2 hours. Doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want on duty as long as I'm not driving. So I get my 8-hour break in. So as soon as I have my 8-hour break in, now this is where my 14 starts, right after the 2-hour break. So either side of the 8-hour break, 7.5 hours driving, 1.5 hours driving. So we have 9 hours here. So we're perfectly legal. Again, our 14 started here on either side of that, can add up. So we have 8 hours over here till we have the 2-hour break, and we're doing just fine. 10 hours total. Okay, so let's go over to this one. All right, so as soon as my 2-hour break is done, my 14 starts here. I know I'm repeating myself, but hopefully you'll get it by now. We only got a couple more days here we're going to go by. All right, 8-hour 14 starts here at 6 o'clock. You got to make sure we're done by 8 p.m. All right, we got our 2-hour as you can see, we're doing just fine. We stopped it exactly at 8. See that half an hour that I drove, 0.5 hours. I made sure I didn't go over. All right, because this 2 hour does not stop. You got to remember, this 2 hours does not stop to 14. All right, so either side of the 2 hour break didn't add up to more than 11. We only did 8. All right, so let's go over to this. Let's go over here. As soon as our 8 hour is done here, our 14, making sure it didn't go over. All right, and if it does go over, we got to make sure we don't drive, as you can see here. Okay, so now as soon as the let's go back here for a second. Now, obviously, this is not a scenario that anybody would ever do. It's ridiculous. This is me just showing you it's possible and how it works. Are we clear on that? Okay. All right, so we got our 2 hour break. All right, our 8 hour break. So a 14 starts here, making sure that this doesn't add up to more. And if it does, make sure we don't drive. So as you can see, we had a 14-hour day here. Ridiculous. I don't know, whatever you are doing, if you're helping unload, you're going to be on duty. All right, so we started. So on either side of the 8 hour break doesn't add up to more than 11 here. So let's take a look. So we have our 8 hour break. All right, and I make sure that we don't go over our 14 on either side. As you can see, I went to 14 here. All right, now if I take an 8 hour break, even though I took 10 hours here, but if I took an 8 hour break, I'd have nothing. I wouldn't be able to drive because I have nothing left over. Remember, it's on either side of the 8 hour break. Cannot add up to more than 14. Since all this adds up to 14, we pretty much got to do an entire 10 hour break. All right, and you're pretty much able to do whatever you want now. We don't have, well, we're not going to be taking any breaks because we don't need to. We're just going to carry on with the day. Hey, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Hope that all made sense to you. All right, click on any of these videos. Goodbye.